Hello, very good morning. Welcome and thanks for joining us on the Mega News at 6 on MBN TV, live and direct from our studios on 10th Avenue Extension, Greater Estate, Nungwa at Dogono. The news is also live on our social media handles on MBN 360. I'm El Samuels. Now the headlines.
Kwachie Ofosu slams GBA over silence on Afenyomarkin judge's remarks. In business, T-bills oversubscribed by 34.8% as yields continue to rise. And on the international front, oil prices rise after Trump warns clock is ticking on Iran peace talks.
Phyllis Kwachie Ofosu, the Minister of State in charge of Government Communications, has criticized the Ghana Bar Association GBA over what he describes as its silence on alleged attack against a judge by the minority leader, Alexander Afenyomarkin.
According to Mr. Kwachie Ofosu, the GBA has failed to respond to the minority leader's comments because the association operates as a group aligned with the New Patriotic Party, NPP. His remarks follows criticism by Mr. Afenyomarkin over the detention of the Bono regional chairman of the NPP, Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronya DC. Addressing a press conference on Sunday, May 17, 2026, the minority leader urged that the continual remand of Abronya DC raises serious constitutional concerns. He described aspects of legal processes as inconsistent with constitutional protections relating to bail and freedom of expression. That Circuit Court 9 judge, I have no respect for him. I pray he summons me for contempt. I will continue to disrespect him until he upholds the law. It's a shame on the judiciary. He doesn't talk law, Afenyomarkin said, while lashing out at the presiding judge in the Abronya DC case. Reacting to this, in a Facebook post on Monday, May 18, Mr. Kwachie Ofosu accused the GBA of failing to call the minority leader to order because he is one of their own. I have long dismissed the Ghana Bar Association as an NPP grouping. If it were not so, the intolerable abuse of this judge by the minority leader would have elicited an immediate, uncompromising response. They have been known to respond quickly to far less offensive commentary by non-NPP members, he asserted. He further alleged that the association had previously reacted swiftly to less offensive comments made by the persons outside the NPP.
The Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection and a Member of Parliament for the Krowa, Honorable Dr. Agnes Naama-Molatey, has reaffirmed government's commitment to strengthening the social protection programs and also improve the welfare of vulnerable households across the country.
Speaking at a community dialogue on social protection and other pertinent issues in the Krowa constituency, the minister said the engagement was intended to bring the government closer to the people while providing residents the opportunity to share their concerns, experience and recommendations. According to her, social protection remains a crucial intervention aimed at protecting human dignity and ensuring that vulnerable persons are not left behind. Social protection is about people. It is about ensuring that no child goes hungry, no older person is abandoned, no person with disability is excluded, and no vulnerable household is left behind in difficult times, she stated.
It is a privilege and a deep personal honor to join you today for this important community dialogue on social protection here in Krowa constituency. I come before you not only as a minister for the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection, but also as a member of Parliament entrusted with the responsibility to listen, engage, and work with you to improve the lives of our people. Today's program is particularly significant because it brings government closer to the people. Social protection is not an abstract policy concept. It is about people. It is about dignity. It is about ensuring that no child goes hungry, no older person is abandoned, no person with disability is excluded, and no vulnerable household is left behind in difficult times. Krowa is a vibrant and resilient municipality. Our people are hardworking. Many are traders, fisher folks, artisans, transport operators, teachers, informal sector workers, and young entrepreneurs, striving every day to support their families. Yet, we are all also aware of the real challenges confronting many households in our communities. The rising cost of living and pressure on household incomes, youth unemployment and underemployment, vulnerability among single parents households, drug abuse, and risky behaviors affecting some of our young ones, child neglect and child protection concerns, the difficulties faced by older persons and persons with disabilities, inadequate access to healthcare and social services for vulnerable families, coastal and environmental challenges affecting livelihoods in our fishing communities.
Away from the Krowa constituency and with the gender minister, there was a heated exchange at the Public Accounts Committee sitting on Monday, May 18, between the Minister for Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Samuel Nartey George, and Committee Chairperson Abena Osei Asari over concerns about alleged poor service delivery by the mobile networks operators in Ghana.
The tension emerged after the minister contributed the challenges facing telecommunications service delivery to what he described as weak policy decisions, poor governance, and leadership gaps under the previous Akufo-Addo administration. Private businesses are about making profits, and those profits they paid to over 8 years at the Finance Ministry as corporate taxes, he said, addressing the chairperson of the committee.
Private businesses are about making profits, and those profits they paid to you over 8 years at the Finance Ministry as corporate taxes. Policy decision and policy leadership ought to make sure that we took steps to protect the customer. And I'm saying that we, under this reset agenda and under a responsible government, have done so.
Minister,
no, Honorable, I'm also a member of Parliament. Don't do this.
Minister,
please, I am on the floor,
Minister,
Honorable.
I understand.
Let me make my point. No, you won't heckle me. Don't play sentiment.
You, but we beg
Chairman, until and unless policy decision is making, Honorable, you need to rein in the Honorable member. She's being unruly.
No.
You're being unruly, please. This is unbecoming of a member of Parliament. Please, stop doing this.
Listen, you don't have the floor.
No, I have the floor. No, you have asked me a question. I have the floor. You will let me answer the question.
Minister.
No, you will let me answer the question. No, you won't do that, Abena. You won't do that today. Let me finish.
Minister, respect me.
Let me finish.
This is our committee.
No,
you don't tell us what you want to do.
But you've not brought me here to talk down on me as well.
Nobody is doing that.
No, I listen to you.
Minister,
go on. You will listen to me as well.
Respectfully.
We have asked them to roll out. We have asked them.
Respectfully, can you turn off your mic?
The chair gave me the floor, please.
Minister.
Minister. Honorable, don't do this.
This is our committee. Minister, respectfully, I understand.
So if it's your committee, then don't invite us. But if you invite
Minister,
us, you ask us a question.
Minister,
so if you ask us a question, you listen to us as well.
Minister,
it's not a monologue.
Respectfully.
So respectfully, let me land.
We will let you land.
Just a minute.
Minister, respectfully, we will let you land. Minister, we are not coming to repeat anything. Respectfully, we will let you land. Please. When you come here and we address issues, it is not that we want to take anybody down. Never. You and I, we go beyond this. We go beyond this. It is not that we want to take anybody down. But Minister, the situation is serious. And that is all the sentiments I'm trying to carry across.
And that's the point I'm making. We've given a policy direction in January. On the back of our policy direction, MTN is rolling out 800 new sites. Telecel is rolling out 350 new sites. Between those two companies, you see 1,150 new sites. However, that's why I said to you that this is engineering and not sentiment. When you ask an MNO to roll out a new site, there are steps that have to be taken. First and foremost, you need to do the acquisition of the site. Then you need to then make the requisition for the radio equipment and the cell site. Those are not things that are, for want of a better phrase, in a supermarket that you just go and buy. You place an order with an OEM. The regulator, the NTA, is going through this process. Most of the MNOs are receiving their BTA devices between July and August. So yes, we have made the request. We have asked them to take the steps. They have taken the steps. But it takes time for the equipment to arrive in the country. And when the equipment arrives and they roll out the improvement, you would see the improvement in the network. But we cannot sit here. After 10 years of failing to take action, someone is taking action, and then you say that you want to see it as quickly as possible.
How many of the sites are they building this year?
This year, MTN is doing 800 new sites.
Okay.
Telecel is doing 350 new sites.
Okay.
So we're looking at 1,150 new sites this year. And I'm saying to you that over the last 10 years, from 2016,
yes,
the average has been 223 sites per year. And so if this year we are doing 1,150, we are doing a 500% increase to try and cover. And that's why I'm saying that, yes, we all go through the challenge. But I'm saying to you that you cannot will some of these things into being with a snap of a finger. It takes time. And so I'm saying that we gave that order in the first quarter of this year. Minister. It will take about 3 to 6 months.
Away from the heated argument from the committee setting, for this, we move straight to the business front. For the second consecutive auction, the Treasury record strong investor demand for short-term security, with total bids exceeding the target by 1.17 billion Ghana cedis.
According to data published by the Bank of Ghana, a total of 5.80 billion Ghana cedis was tendered, representing a 34.8% oversubscription of the 4.30 billion Ghana cedis target. Out of the total bids received, 5.48 billion Ghana cedis was accepted. Despite the strong demand, not all bids were accepted, suggesting the government maintained pricing discipline by rejecting relatively expensive bids. A breakdown of the auction showed that the 91-day bill attracted the bulk of investor interest, with bids totaling 3.83 billion Ghana cedis, of which 3.65 billion Ghana cedis was accepted. The 182-day bill recorded 709.83 million Ghana cedis in bids, with 671.72 million Ghana cedis accepted. Meanwhile, the 364-day bill saw 1.26 billion tendered, of which 1.15 billion Ghana cedis was accepted. Analysts believe that, aside from the relatively softer target, the recent bearish turn in the equity markets may have pushed some investors towards safer and relatively attractive short-term government securities, further supporting demand at the auction. Despite the strong demand, yields edged up across all tenors, indicating that the market continued to fairly price inflation risk against the backdrop of the upcoming Monetary Policy Committee meeting. The yield on the 91-day bill edged up by 3 basis points to 4.91%, while the 182-day bill increased by 1 basis point to 7.04% from the previous week's 7.03%. The 364-day bill climbed by 25 basis points to 10.38% from 10.13%. Looking ahead, the Treasury plans to raise about 4.49 billion Ghana cedis at the next auction, with market participants positioning ahead of the Monetary Policy Committee decision on interest rates.
Now straight to the international front, where oil prices rose on Monday morning in Asia after the U.S. President Donald Trump warned Iran that the clock is ticking as talks to bring the war to an end have stalled.
The global benchmark Brent crude was 1.85% higher at $111.28, which is 83.61 pounds, while U.S. traded oil was up by 2.32% at $107.87. Energy markets have been on a wild ride after Iran effectively closed the key Strait of Hormuz waterway in retaliation for U.S. and Israeli strikes on the country, which started on 28 February. Around a fifth of the world's oil and liquefied natural gas usually passes through the narrow shipping route. They had better get moving fast or there won't be anything left for them, Trump wrote on social media. Time is of the essence. Iran media, meanwhile, reported Washington had failed to make any concrete concessions in its response to Tehran's latest proposals to end the conflict. A lack of compromise from the U.S. would lead to an impasse of the negotiations, the semi-official Mer news agency reported. Trump's message echoed his threat that a whole civilization would die unless Tehran agreed to a peace deal shortly before a ceasefire was announced in early April. The president warned last week that the truce was on massive life support after rejecting Iran's demands, labeling them totally unacceptable. He is expected to hold a meeting on Tuesday with his top national security advisors to discuss the options for military action regarding Iran, according to news platform Axios. During the conflict, Iran has launched attacks on neighboring countries including Israel, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates, UAE. On Sunday, the UAE said a drone strike had triggered a fire near its nuclear power station, calling the incident a dangerous escalation. Officials are investigating the source of the strike. The country's defense ministry said 3 drones had entered the UAE from the western border direction. While 2 were intercepted, the 3rd drone struck an electrical generator outside the inner perimeter of the Baraka nuclear power plant in Abu Dhabi, sparking a fire. No injuries were reported and there was no impact on radiological safety levels, local authorities said.
And that's it for today, this morning's bulletin on the Mega Broadcasting Network, MBN TV. I am El Samuels. But before we leave, a recap of the top stories.
Kwachi Ofosu slams GBA over silence on Afenyomakin judge's remarks. In business, T-bills oversubscribed by 34.8% as yields continue to rise. And on the international front, oil prices rise after Trump warns clock is ticking on Iran peace talks.
For more news, log on to MBN 360. You can also find us on our social media handles on MBN 360, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. My name is El Samuels. Up next is a sports update.